So boys and girls, today we're going to learn how to multiply a two-digit number times a one-digit number. But before we get into that lesson, I want you to take a look at the addition and the subtraction problems that we had done earlier in the year. When we did the addition problem, we went to the end of the problem, and there we found 2 plus 2, which is 4. We placed the 4 directly underneath the 2 to make a nice straight column. Then we went to 4 plus 1, the answer is 5, and we put the number directly underneath of the 1 to make a nice straight column. When we did our subtraction problem, we did the same thing. We went to the end of the problem and we found 9 minus 3, which is 6. And if you notice, the 6 is directly underneath of the 3, making a nice straight column. Then we went to the tens place. We have 5 minus 1 is 4. Notice that the 4 is directly under the 1, making a nice straight column. So keep that in mind, where we begin and the importance of making straight columns. So we're going to multiply 23 times 3. Once again, we're going to go to the end of the problem and we're going to multiply the 3 and the 2 by the number 3, which means we're doing the 3 times table. So 3 times 3 is 9. Notice I'm putting the 9 directly underneath of the 3, making a nice straight column. Then I'm going to multiply 3 times 2, which is 6. And since I'm working on the 2, I'm going to bring my answer down for 6 directly underneath of the 2. So 23 times 3 is 69. Let's move on down here to 31 times 5. Once again, we're going to multiply the 3 and the 1 by 5. So that's the 5 times table. But I'm going to start at the very end of the problem. And I'm going to think to myself, 5 times 1. Well, 5 times 1 is 5. And I'm going to put the 5 directly underneath of the 5. Then I'm going to take the 5 and multiply the 3. 5 times 3 is 15. But if you notice, the number 15 has 2 digits. So I'm going to put the 5 underneath of the 3, and the 1 is going to just bump out to one more space, just like we do in addition and subtraction. So let's go on down to the last 2 problems. We have 71 times 2. Once again, we're going to multiply the 7 and the 1 by 2, which is the 2 times table, but we're going to start on the end. 2 times 1 is 2. I'm going to place that answer directly underneath of the 2, making a nice straight column. And then I'm going to multiply 2 times 7, which is 14, because 7 and 7, that's 2 times, makes 14. 14 is a 2-digit number, so the 4 is going to go underneath the 7, nice and straight, and the 1 for the 14 is going to bump out. And there you can see the number 14. In our last problem, we have 11 times 6. Oh, but wait a minute. We haven't done the 6 times table. But remember, in multiplication, we can change the order of the factors. So we have multiplied by 1. We can do 6 times 1 because it's the same thing as 1 times 6. And 6 times 1 is 6. Notice that the 6 is going to go directly underneath of the 6. And then I'm going to multiply the other digit. 6 times 1 is 6. The answer is going to go straight underneath the 6. So 11 times 6 is 66. And that's our little mini lesson on multiplication for today.